Hello, welcome. Thanks so much for joining me. My name is Michelle. Our class today is themed around this idea of just loosening up, checking in with yourself, giving yourself a time to really see what's arising in the moment. We're going to do a little juicy flow that helps us to connect into the body, strengthening our hips, our shoulders, our back, just waking everything up, but also having some moments where we get to really see what our body needs and perhaps have a little bit of free flow. So when you're ready, we're going to just join on the mat. So we'll go ahead and I'll head over to my mat. You can head over to yours. And we're going to start out today in child's pose. So when you're ready to bring yourself there, we'll just have the knees about the distance of the hips, and then just go ahead and rest the forehead down to the mat, lengthening the arms above the head. Let's take 3 deep Ujjayi breaths. So breathing in nice and slow through the back of the throat, filling up the back ribs and the side ribs, and then breathing out. Now these next 2 breaths, I'll ask you to breathe in a little bit more. So again, deep inhale. Pause at the top. When you think you're full, I want you to take another inhale. So breathe in on top of that one. And exhale, let it go. One more, just like that. Full inhale breath. When you think you're full, just hold. And then see if you can draw another sip in. And exhale, letting it go. Beautiful. And then just pressing down, we'll rise up, finding tabletop position, or 4-point pose. Knees and feet hip width apart, hands shoulder width apart. Let's take a moment just to lift our fingertips up off the floor, pressing into the base of the wrist. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Stretch your pinky finger from your thumb mound, your index finger from your thumb mound as well. And then we'll go ahead and place the hands down on the mat with the skin on the palms stretched out. Then just clawing the mat gently with the fingertips. We'll start to gently curl the tailbone under and round. First, just the lower back, just pausing there. And then bringing in the middle and the upper back as we drop the chin to the chest and really push the floor away as if you're stretching the mat between your knees and your hands. Nice and slow reversing, start to tilt the hips wide and back behind you. Lower the belly button to the floor, start to lift the gaze. Taking a nice big breath in as you reach the top of the position. Exhale, curling in, rounding the back. We got 3 of these, moving with the breath. Inhale. And exhale. 2 more in. And out. Good, 1 more in. Big breath, exhale, push the floor away. Okay, come back into the center. Walk your hands an inch forward. Tuck both of your toes, all of your toes of both feet underneath you. Stick your hips back behind you as if you're trying to touch your butt to your heels, but we're not going to let it touch. We're just going to hover there. Then see if you can lift your knees off the floor a millimeter. Take a big breath in, and then exhale, straighten the knees, press the hips back to downward facing dog. 3 big breaths. Breathing in and out. Have a moment here just to check in. Maybe you want to pedal out the feet a couple of times. Maybe you'd like to sway a hip right or left. So we got 1 more breath to play with. Just take a moment with yourself. And a big breath out. Next inhale breath, come up on the tippy toes and pause. Just try to straighten your legs as best you can, chin to the chest, and then curl your tailbone under. So you want to feel your lower back come into a bit of a rounded shape. Then continuing that rounded shape in the spine, shift all the way forward until the weight comes evenly into your hands and your feet. So now you're in your high plank position. Take a full breath in, lifting your front ribs in towards the back of the body. And as you breathe out, take it all the way back to downward facing dog. Let's do that a couple of times. So inhale, ripple forward on the tippy toes. Pull the front ribs in, tuck the tailbone. Round forward, super slow motion all the way to high plank and pause. Feel that lift as you push the floor away. There's a sense of buoyancy and lightness here. And then set it all the way back to downward facing dog. 1 more time. Inhale, ripple forward, rounding forward. Find the top of the high plank position. And exhale, take it all the way back. Next time, ripple forward the same way we've just done, but this time we'll slowly lower all the way down. Let's bring the knees down for the first Chaturanga Dandasana. We'll lower down slowly, elbows just hugging in close to the ribs as we come all the way down. Then point the toes back so the tops of the feet contact the mat. Spider your fingertips off the mat at about shoulder height, but fairly wide, and let the elbows point a little bit back and a little bit up. Hug your chest and your heart a little bit forward, pressing down into the hips and firm the thighs. Inhale, slow motion, start to lift the chest and ribs slightly off the floor, coming into a little cobra. And exhale, lowering down slowly, letting your head drop down. Let's go again. So inhale, gather up from the core of the body as you slowly lift the head and heart, opening the front body up. Exhale, nice and easy coming down. And imagine your spine gets longer as you lower down. Last one, inhale, rising up, opening up any stickiness through the front of the body. And exhale, nice and slow, coming all the way down. Slide the hands back under the shoulders, tuck the toes, press down into the knees and the hands, and then send the hips back to the heels. Take the knees off the floor an inch, and then all the way back, downward facing dog. Taking a deep breath in, and a deep breath out. Come up high on the tippy toes and slowly lower both knees down to the mat. We're going to get into a little bit of hip work. So what I'd like you to do here is just drop your left elbow down to the floor and slide your right hand back so it's in a little bit of like a push-up type position. We'll bring our knees and feet all the way together here. And then you're just going to start to activate your right hip by lifting your right knee a little bit off the floor. So you should be able to feel you can hover it. And we're just going to open up that knee out to the side. Inhaling there. And then exhaling, bringing the knee back. Let's do this 5 times in total. So we'll come out for the second one, and then back in. And we got now 3, and in, and 4, and in, and 5, and in. Good. Now, see if you can extend your leg back behind you. We're going to rotate our toes slightly outwards, so we have a little external rotation on that hip. And now we're bending the knee and tapping the elbow in. And out, and in. We'll do 4 more, and out, and here's 3, and out. Starting to switch those lower abdominals on for 2. Good. Stay with me now for 1, and then hold it out, and now little pulses up and down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a child's pose. Slowly drop down to the knees. Release the hips back to the heels. Stretch the arms forward. Nice full breath in. And a deep breath out. And rising up to table again. This time we'll lower our right elbow down to the ground and just place the left hand roughly under the left shoulder, knees and feet together. Just hovering that left knee a little bit off the floor, and then see if you can bring it right out to the side. And then back in, and we got 4 more. So here we go for 4, for 3, bring it out, for 2, and 1. Good. Coming back to center, extend the leg back behind you, slightly turning the toes out, and lift the leg as high as you can. So you start to feel your outer glute muscles switch on, the outer hip muscles, and then we're tapping our knee and elbow together. So bringing it in and out, and in and out. Good. We got 3 more. See if you can stay with me now. 2, and out, and 1, and out. Good. See if you can hold it strong in 5 little pulses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good work. Oh, let those glutes go. Come back to child's pose. How amazing is that? To feel your body really start to spark, to start to wake up. Take another deep breath in, and a big breath out. And we'll rise up to table again and just press your way back to downward facing dog position. From here, bring your feet a little closer together. Going to float the right leg up towards the sky and pause. So again, we're using our glute muscle. We're using that right hip muscle to really lift the leg up towards the ceiling. Try to draw the front ribs in at the same time. And let's actually turn our right pinky toe down towards the floor. So you're going to lift up from your inner right thigh and square your hips off. This is going to make it a little more challenging for your left leg. So feel free to micro bend the left knee if you need to. Take another breath in and really stretch the leg back. And then stepping our right foot all the way forward. Try to hug your right thigh towards your torso, glue it there, flex the right foot, and then stepping the right foot forward just inside the right hand. Let's come into a lunge. So we'll come onto fingertips and bend deeply into that right knee as we press back through that back heel and lift up through the inner left thigh so the hips are square. Take a breath in as you lift the gaze, and then try and pull your heart forward as your shoulder heads pull back. Taking another breath in, and a big breath out. Good. And we'll inhale, lower our left knee down to the mat. Pressing down into the foot and the knee. Inhale, reach the arms up, coming into a low lunge position. From here, clasping opposite elbows. See if you can lift up through the forearms. Draw the elbows back a little bit behind the head. And let yourself explore here, a little opening through that front of that left hip. Taking a nice full breath in. And a big breath out. And slowly release the hands back to the earth. Lift the back knee up and then try and straighten out over your right leg as you fold and bow over the right leg one time. Keeping the right hip back, the left hip forward. From here, we'll bend into the front knee, place the hands, and step back. Downward facing dog for a breath. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, come high on the tippy toes, round forward slowly to find high plank position, and exhale to lower all the way down to the mat. Let's again take the fingertips off the mat, pointing the toes back, slow cobra here. Inhale, lifting the heart up. Exhale, coming down. On this next one, try and drop the chin to the chest as you come up. So let the head drop down. Press down into the hands slightly. Inhale, lifting up. See the heart lift up to the chin and then slow motion lifting the gaze forward. And exhale, coming down. Beautiful. We got one more. Keep the head dropped. Inhale. Start to slowly pick up the front of the body, lifting the heart and then lifting the gaze. And exhale, coming all the way back down. Plant the hands, tuck toes, lift the butt off the floor, and then slowly take it back. Downward facing dog. Again, feet close together. Float that left leg up towards the sky now, nice and high. Pause here for a moment. Really feel that engagement of that left hip muscle switching on for you. And try and look underneath yourself. Try to turn your left baby toe a little bit to the floor. Again, you might have to micro bend that right knee a little bit to be here comfortably. Take a nice big breath and lift a little bit higher. Now come high on the right tippy toes, bend your left knee. Slow motion, start to pull your thigh up in towards your front ribs. So really lifting, flexing the left foot, and we'll step that foot all the way forward to the top of the mat. And just dropping the knee down. And slowly inhale, we'll reach the arms up to the sky. And clasping opposite elbows, starting to open up through the heart. Let the hips sink forward. Just take a couple breaths. One more deep breath in. And exhale, releasing the hands, tucking the back toes. If they're not already, lift the knee, and then gently folding over this left leg. Couple of breaths. Feel that left hip scissor back, the right hip scissor forward. One more. And then rebend the left knee, plant the hands, really push the floor away as you step back, downward facing dog. Slow breath in, deep breath out. And we'll come to a puppy pose, so coming on the tippy toes, lower the knees to the mat, keeping the hips right above the knees, walk the hands forward, and just slowly arc the chest and forehead down towards the floor. Don't worry if it doesn't quite touch. Just take a moment to open up. 2 breaths. Good. Then pull the front ribs in, tuck the tailbone a little, come back, and lying all the way down onto the belly. And come to elbows and to Sphinx pose. Just taking a moment to lift the heart. And then just dropping down, stretching the right arm out like a big wing opening, left palm on the floor, left knee bends, and we'll step the left foot behind us for broken wing pose. You can let your head rest down. If you'd like to, reaching the left arm up towards the sky and maybe turning that palm around and taking it behind your back. 3 breaths. So working into the front of the right shoulder, the right side of the chest. And then releasing, bring the left palm back down, roll back onto the belly, and we'll swap sides. Left arm stretches out, right palm on the floor. We're looking to the right side, bend the right knee and stepping it back. Again, option to float the right arm for a little bit more, and maybe bringing that arm back behind you. And then reaching up, we'll come back to the belly, all the way back. I'm going to finish in child's pose, so let's press down, come back to the knees, and then find a nice, easy child's pose as you extend the arms forward. And really soften the arms, let the forearms mesh to the mat. Let's take a few breaths. So let's take one more deep breath in child's pose. Big breath out. We'll slowly rise all the way up, and we're just going to come to final Shavasana from here. So we'll go ahead and lie down on our back for a minute, just releasing the body into the floor. Let's take a moment just to bend the knees, place the feet flat on the ground, lift the hips and move them a little towards your feet, and then just straighten out the legs again. Let the palms open to the sky. Adjust the shoulders just by pressing the back of the head into the ground. Lift the shoulders off the floor and wiggle around just so you feel more spread out. And then you can rest and close the eyes. We'll just spend a minute here. Try to let go of any restriction around your breath. Feeling your body start to soften. It's a good time as well just to set an intention for your day ahead, or if it's in the evening when you're practicing this class, maybe setting an intention for your day tomorrow. So bringing into your awareness how you want to experience your day. What do you really need to balance everything out for yourself? So you're welcome to stay in Shavasana. When you're ready to break the Shavasana, we'll start to just wiggle the fingers and toes, and then bend the knees and roll over to the right side. And slowly bringing ourselves up to have a seat. Just taking the hands to the heart, closing the eyes. Take a moment to really honor your time on your mat today, setting you up for the day ahead. Namaste.